Children of the Dawn, a zombie story, written and narrated by Kitiara Hayes. Chapter 2. Jacob. The day my world ended. The streets were a blur of chaos and noise, a cacophony of honking horns and shouting voices. I gripped the steering wheel, watching as my knuckles turned white. I could only inch the car forward a bit at a time. The radio was on loop. Warning! Immediate lockdown issued by the government. Please follow previous guidelines and restrict travel to necessary only. Please stay indoors. Repeat, please stay indoors. The infected attack others on site. Transmission via bodily fluid has been confirmed. All public transport has been suspended. Please stay indoors. Repeat, please stay indoors. I glanced at Maria beside me, her eyes fixed on the road ahead, lips pressed to a thin line. Her phone buzzed incessantly. She read the messages aloud, some from colleagues, friends, all saying the same thing: stay inside, stay safe. But our children were out there. The memory of COVID-19 outbreak lingered in my mind, a shadow of fear and uncertainty. I'd been 27 then, watching the world unravel from the safety of my home. But this was different. It was far worse. I never imagined my own children going through this, let alone at this age. Will was 5 and Jade was only 3. I had to get to them, despite the world going to hell around us. Screw this. I pressed the accelerator and the car lurched forward as I rove through the stalled traffic. I ignored Maria's cry of panic and the honks of protest that blared behind me. Jade's nursery was the closest, just a few blocks away. I could picture her, carefree and stubborn. I could see the blonde curls framing her delicate features, waiting for us. We had to get there. We'd get Jade, and then Will. We would. Finally, we reached the nursery. Something felt off. The skies were clear, the hot summer sun creating a fuzzy haze on the parking lot asphalt. I was suddenly aware of how the cherry pink and blue paint of the nursery was peeling in places, a detail I'd somehow overlooked before. The gates stood open, the playground eerily silent. My stomach twisted as I slowly brought the car to a stop. Maria drew in a low breath beside me. I noticed a Ford pickup parked near the front door. Next to it was a Volkswagen with its back doors splayed wide open. The parking lot was littered with what I presumed were its contents. "Stay here, Maria. We should be—" But Maria was out of the car before I could finish. I cursed under my breath as I undid my belt. "Jade! Jade!" Her cries echoed in the eerie silence, punctuated by the pounding of her sneakers on the ground. Inside it was dim, but the chaos that took place here was palpable. Toys scattered, chairs overturned, and a dead woman on the floor, her face disfigured and body disemboweled. What was left of her was completely unrecognizable. It was then that I saw them. Small figures, moving with an unnatural, jerky speed, eyes vacant and hungry. They seemed to turn and face us as one, a hive mind. The realization hit me like a punch to the gut. Infected children? They were somehow faster than the ones on news, and a nightmare made flesh. The sound that came from Maria was inhuman. It pierced the air, a primal sound of pure anguish. I grabbed her arm, wrenching her back, away from the undead, the horror. She fought me. "Jade! Jade!" "Maria, we have to go now. This is a death trap. Maria, we've got to get Will!" I yelled. I bear-hugged her, dragging her backwards. She stopped fighting me as the first of the children caught up. The world around us seemed slow as it merged from the doors and into the sun. A little girl, no older than 3, with yellow pallid skin and eyes clouded and vacant. She moved with the same unnatural jerky speed. Black blood oozed from her mouth and the bite marks all over her little body. The sight of this tiny, grotesque figure, once innocent, full in life, now transformed into a nightmare, was a dagger to my heart that hurt both physically and turned my stomach. Is this what my baby girl was now? Maria's scream echoed in my ears, a sound of pure, unfiltered horror. I tightened my grip on her, pulling her away from the nightmare that was now advancing towards us. I shoved her ahead of me roughly. The child's small, blood-streaked hands reached out, its mouth opening in a low rasp that seemed to mock the innocence it once embodied. "Run, Maria!" I shouted, my voice barely recognizable to myself. We stumbled backwards, our feet tangling over the threshold as we tried to escape. The world around us blurred into a haze as I willed my feet to move, one hand firmly on Maria's arm as I pulled her up, and we ran. The child moved with the natural speed, its small form darting afterwards as it snapped its mouth open and shut with a relentless hunger. Click, 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 click. The sound of its teeth slamming together raised every goose pimple on my body. The ground seemed to shift beneath me as we ran, every step a battle against the terror that threatened to paralyze me. The air was suddenly thick with the scent of sweet decay. Each lungful of it was a reminder of the nightmare we found ourselves now living. As we reached the car, my hands were shaking as I fumbled for the keys. Maria was sobbing as she yanked on the passenger door handle. My hands shook so badly I nearly dropped the keys before finally unlocking it. "Fuck!" I cursed as I yanked the door open. Checking Maria, I dove inside before doing so myself. The toddler was too close now, its small feet pattering against the asphalt, its eyes locked onto mine with a chilling intensity. Its skin sallow yellow, eyes bright but sunken, with dark bruising under its eyes. As her mouth opened and shut, black spittle flew and dripped down her jaw. I slammed the door shut. It caught on her head. The sick thump brought nausea up in my throat, the impact jarring through the frame. The child let out an inhuman roar of frustration, its head wedged in the door. I had to slam it several times, each thud resonating with a sickening finality, until she finally fell back, eyes vacant, yet still fixed on us. I only managed to drive down the road a bit before I had to open up the door once more to throw up. As we drove, Maria's quiet sobs filled the silence, a heartbreaking melody of our shared loss. Jade was gone, our baby girl, lost to the pandemic. But we had to keep moving. We had to stay alive. We had to find Will. As I drove away, I cast one last glance at the nursery, a silent promise forming in my heart. I would protect what I had left of my family, no matter what nightmare laid ahead. Will's school was further, past the snarled traffic and blocked roads. My heart sank as we hit yet another jam, cars stretching endlessly ahead. But there were no more shortcuts.